Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Laryssa and Liz, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode number 45. In this episode, Laryssa and I are talking about threads. We're going to cover what it is and share our initial reactions. We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. In the extended version of this episode, we talk about how you should use threads for your business. By should, I mean how you could use threads for your business. We share some ideas there. To get access to this exclusive content, as well as direct access to me and Laryssa, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Hey, Laryssa, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I think we briefly mentioned it in the last episode, and we had some more time to spend with it, so we have a more informed opinion to share.
Yes. So we have been trying out threads. The last episode we recorded, it had launched like 12 hours prior. So we just experienced that initial excitement that a lot of people described as like a first day of school feeling, where people were like checking it out and introducing themselves, and it was fun and exciting. So obviously we've spent a week with it. Let's first answer the question of what is threads, because I feel like a lot of people who aren't kind of in this bubble of digital marketing have missed the whole thing. But Threads is a new app built by Instagram, and it's for sharing text updates and joining public conversations.
It's very similar to Twitter. It's kind of basically Twitter. It's basically Meta's version of Twitter.
Yes, but it's very connected to Instagram, which is the difference. So 100 million people signed up in the first week, which is kind of wild. But I think one of the reasons is because it's so tied to Instagram and it's so easy to sign up from the Instagram platform, that I think that's why a lot of people did. And also there's a lot of anger about Twitter. A lot of people are looking to get off Twitter. So this is the answer. So Threads has a 500 character limit, very similar to Twitter. Users can reply to, repost, quote others' Threads posts, and it's very much a conversation app, but it's very easy to share what you're saying on Threads to Instagram. So those two are really connected. I think they're going to keep expanding this platform. It's pretty bare bones right now, so there aren't any hashtags, and there's no like direct messaging abilities yet, but it's really easy to connect or find somebody's Instagram profile and message them there. Our initial reactions, I started a threads for Success with Jewelry because it felt really like a good fit, a good platform for our podcast, whereas Instagram doesn't really, because we always need to have images. And really what Laryssa and I want to do with social media is talk to you and share the links when a new episode comes out. So Threads feels like a good fit for Success with Jewelry out of like all of the other things I'm managing. So that's the first one I kind of went in with and started trying. And we actually got some great feedback from our audience there when I said that we were recording this podcast and asked people what they thought. Christina said, "I'm loving that so many people came here because we hate Elon," which again, I think this is one of the reasons why it got so much buzz and so many signups initially. A brand called Ocean's Cove says, "Love it." And they've been really active on the platform. So it does seem like they do really love it. And then Classic Creations NYC says, "It's awesome for engagement and building a community instead of just showing stuff on Instagram." And I think that there is a lot of opportunity there if your audience is there to talk with them and have conversations with them.
Absolutely. It's interesting to hear others people's reactions, because sometimes as marketers, we kind of get in our own heads a little bit.
Well, so when Threads launched, Laryssa and I needed to figure out how to use it so we could talk to you, all of you. And then we also, like, I have clients who were asking about it and asking how we could use it. So you have to be pretty quick with like coming up with a strategy when you're a marketer. And I think that takes some of the fun out of something like this. So we'll get into our thoughts in a minute. I want to share one more thought that came from Mighty Network, which if you aren't a member of our platform, our networking platform, like join, leave comments, leave questions. We'd love to hear from you there. But she says, it seems more positive and cheerful, but I miss the pretty pictures on Instagram. And do we think it will last? Which my gut reaction is no. And I don't know why that is. I have nothing to base that on. I just feel like I lost interest kind of quickly. But granted, I have a lot of other things that I'm managing and not a ton of time to spend scrolling, but I don't know that it's going to last.
It really doesn't have any feet to stand on except for the fact that people hate Elon Musk.
It does kind of feel like that. And I think that we were talking about how hard it was to write like our first post on the platform, or like, you know, that kind of like, what do we actually say there? And Laryssa was saying a lot of the posts she saw when she was scrolling through are like, I don't know what to say here. One of my first thoughts was like, you know, just introduce yourself, or just like be light and fun and have conversations there, because you don't want to kind of like launch into a platform that's supposed to be about conversation and like be promoting yourself. So that was one of my initial thoughts. But I think it's a good place to be a little bit more personal than you are on Instagram and have conversations.
I've never heard of a jewelry brand like primarily acquiring customers through Twitter.
No.
If you're out there, email me.
Yeah, let us know. Laryssa and I were talking about in the extended episode too, because we've both been in digital marketing for a really long time. And when I started, Instagram wasn't around yet. And Twitter was like the hub. Like Twitter and Facebook were the two things I was managing. And Twitter was really important. But it was challenging. I mean, I was working for like big consumer brands, so I had to get everything approved, of course. And that was most of what I spent my time doing. So the fact that I can't like tap into that and figure out what to say on Threads is kind of shocking me.
But did you ever manage for a jewelry brand?
Never for a jewelry brand. I was working for at that. I hadn't moved into the jewelry industry yet. And I think I cannot remember what I have tweeted for jewelry brands. Usually I recommend just tweeting if you want to have a Twitter, it's like just tweeting press, or tweeting if you have somebody to tag. And I used to tweet a lot from my personal account during like award shows. That used to be a big thing. I think I mentioned this last week, but all like the whole jewelry industry would come on, I feel like during award shows, and like live tweet the red carpet, which was always fun. But no, I've never grown a business for a jewelry brand on Twitter, because I think that it's not a visual platform, and what jewelry brands are trying to show is very visual.
Totally.
So my initial thoughts are that it felt really fun and exciting at first, but then I got really tired of consuming content and really tired of thinking about creating content because there's just so many platforms to manage. I'm still trying to figure out TikTok and how that fits into the marketing mix for both myself and the clients I work with. I think that, again, so many people signed up because of, you know, a need for a new Twitter, and just because it's so easy to do for Instagram. Just to reiterate, I do think there's a great opportunity to build community there and have conversations with your audience if your audience is on the platform, and they might not be there yet.
Yeah, I feel like if you were a brand based on like a founder personality or something like that, maybe.
Yes. I mean, a lot of designers listening probably are like the solopreneurs and the like face of their brand, and put themselves a lot into the content they're putting out there. And that can really make sense. You know, if you have the bandwidth, if you're already consistent on Instagram and in email marketing, and you have the bandwidth and you're aligning it with all the other content you're putting out there, and you're having more casual conversations with your audience on Threads, I think that could really make sense. So again, in the bonus episode, we share a lot more details about how we think you could be using Threads. So we'd love to know what you think of this platform. If you've tried it, if you're going to try it, let us know. And you can visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended episode as well as exclusive content. Thank you so much for listening.